We got the surprise drop of the trailer for Tales of the Empire today, an anthology series like Tales of the Jedi, which is going to be coming out on May 4th, or Star Wars Day. This actually puts its release later in the same week of the Bad Batch finale. The first thing that stands out to me is, of course, the show looks incredible. This is something that has been more and more true of this animation style over the years. I wasn't big on it when it came out first in the Clone Wars, and I thought in Rebels it was serviceable, but as we've seen it develop through the Clone Wars Season 7, Bad Batch, Tales of the Jedi, and now Tales of the Empire, I think it's looked better and better, and I think a lot of these shots are just absolutely beautiful. But the main thing we know from the trailer is that the show is going to be split between episodes focusing on Morgan Elsbeth and the return of Barriss Offee. Barriss has basically been missing since the Jedi Temple bombing arc in the Clone Wars, but while there's been plenty of speculation about what happened to her, including the idea that maybe Merrick, who funnily enough shows up next to her in the trailer, might have been her, we're finally about to get an answer to what actually happened to her. And I think the structure and themes of Tales of the Jedi can give us a pretty decent idea of what we might have to look forward to. At its core, Tales of the Jedi told the stories of two characters, Ahsoka and Count Dooku, who saw flaws within the Jedi but responded to those flaws in very different ways. Dooku always tried to gain more power for himself and caused a lot of problems with that approach. While he did have some valid criticisms of the Jedi and what they were currently doing in the galaxy, Tales of the Jedi makes it clear that what he did in response was not the correct answer. Ahsoka would come to have similar criticisms, which is something that we actually see a bit more in Season 7 of the Clone Wars in the episodes where she's with Trace and Rafa as well, but she also suffered on a more personal level because of those flaws than Dooku. But despite these greater personal reasons to have something against the Jedi, we see Ahsoka stay far more true to the principles she thought were being betrayed than Dooku does. Ahsoka may not be a Jedi in name anymore, but she's still acting to protect others. And I think the first Tales season did a really good job at contrasting these two viewpoints. For any valid points Dooku is making, you're always shown that there was another option for him to take. Within his own episodes, this is often shown through Qui-Gon, but between all of the episodes, this is primarily shown with Ahsoka. I think this dynamic is something that we're going to see once again in Tales of the Empire. Both Barriss and Morgan are coming from a situation where their people have effectively been wiped out. For Morgan, this is Dathomir, and for Barriss, this is the Jedi. On Morgan's side, we see her willingly offering her anger in service of the Empire when she meets with Thrawn, and this is something we know she continues on with throughout the next few decades thanks to her appearances in The Mandalorian and Ahsoka. On Barriss' side, we see her getting conscripted into the Inquisitors, basically as a way to survive when no other options exist. And we have just enough hints at darkness in her past to think that maybe this could work for her. But ultimately, much like Ahsoka and Dooku, I think we're going to see these two characters make two very different decisions. And of course, I could be wrong in this, so please let me know what you think in the comments. But where Morgan is embracing everything that the Empire is offering here, seeing it as a way to bring her people back, I think Barriss is going to reject it. I don't know what this might mean for the future of Barriss' story after Tales of the Empire, or if she will even have one after Tales of the Empire. This could end in her death, but I don't think we're going to see her fully embrace the Inquisitor life. It could be a fun way to tie the two stories together by having Barriss be the one to kill Merrick in his original form before Morgan reanimates him, but of course any of this is just my own speculation. The other question this raises is whether this is the Tales of the Jedi Season 2 that Dave Filoni was talking about at Star Wars Celebration before, and which was announced previously, or if Tales of the Empire is a separate anthology and we're still getting a different Tales of the Jedi Season 2. After all, the StarWars.com announcement of Tales of the Jedi Season 2 did call it Tales of the Jedi Season 2, rather than saying that it was just a continuation of the Tale-style anthologies. I personally think that while there's a possibility of getting some other Tales of the Jedi with that title in the future, that this is probably what that announcement was referring to, especially given that it was supposed to be coming out this year. That being said, I am surprised that we're getting this as soon as we are. The first Tales of the Jedi season came out in October 2022, which was about a year after the first season of The Bad Batch ended, and a couple months before the second season of Bad Batch started. There was about a year and a half between The Bad Batch Season 1 and 2, and then Tales of the Jedi was kind of used as a stopgap there. Especially with The Bad Batch Season 3 being its final season, I thought Tales of the Jedi Season 2, or whatever it was going to end up being, would come out later this year, rather than following 3 days after the finale of the final season. Because aside from this, who knows when the next animated series is actually going to start? So if there is going to be another one coming out, even another one coming out this year, then that could be a reason that we're getting this so so close together, releasing on Star Wars Day. Whenever that next animated series does come out, this announcement is making me think there's an even better chance that it's about Ventress now. Between Ventress's voice actress saying that this was only the beginning with her appearance in The Bad Batch, and Jennifer Corbett saying future content was going to explore why Ventress did come back, Tales of the Jedi seemed like the most likely possibility for that to happen in. But unless she shows up as part of Elsbeth's story, with the whole destruction of Dathomir being an important factor in that, I don't really think Ventress fits into Tales of the Empire as we've seen it now. So that, I think, points to another anthology series like this coming out sooner than later, or Ventress being the star of the next animated series following up on The Bad Batch. Either way, Tales of the Empire looks really good, so I'm looking forward to it. Let me know what you think in the comments. Thanks for watching, and hope to see you next time.